Hi guys, this is Emily from Emily's Anthology. Today I have a really fun, kind of sexy party look for you guys. I did a really dark eye, but I did counter it with really dewy, fresh skin, and I also added a couple of crystals just to add a bit of fun to the look. I hope you guys like the look, and if you do, please watch on to find out how you can get it. So I'm going to start by setting down a base. I already did my brows. I used the Anastasia Beauty Express Kit, sorry. And I'm going to start by laying down a base for my foundation, and I'm going to be using the Skin Perfect Primer from Dermalogica. This is a brand new product and it is really amazing. It has an SPF of 30 and it's got these really gorgeous pearl illuminating pigments which make your skin look really luminescent, really gorgeous, and it fills in any little flaws and crevices that you have so that your foundation doesn't settle into those holes, which is amazing. And once I've got that primer down, I'm going to go in with a foundation. I'm trying this brand new foundation out. This is the Diorskin Nude and mine is the color 20. Now this foundation has a couple of different coverages that you can sort of apply depending on what kind of brush you use. There is a line of brushes that was released with this foundation, and they have a light coverage and a full coverage brush. I'm going for a bit of a full coverage, so I'm going to be using the flat kabuki brush from Sigma. Just looks like this. And I'm just picking up the foundation and buffing it all over my face. I'm focusing on the center of my face where I need the most coverage. So now that that's done, I'm going to move on to the eyes. Now for the eyes, I'm going to keep them really dark and really intense, and for that I'm going to start by laying down a really dark base. This is the Benefit Creaseless Cream Eyeshadow and the color is Strut. It just looks like this, and I'm going to be picking it up with a fluffy blending brush. So I'm just swirling the brush into the product, and then I'm going to apply it all over my eyes. And I'm just buffing this onto my lid and into the crease. Now if you have larger eyes than mine, you can just stick with the same brush and take it underneath your eye, but I have really small eyes and that brush is way too big for me, so I'm going to be using a little pencil brush and picking up the exact same product, and I'm going to be putting it on my lower lash line. I'm going to take it about 3/4 of the way in and take it quite far down as well. Now moving on to the eyeshadows, I'm going to be using pigments for this look. The first pigment that I'm going to be applying is the Wicked pigment, and this is from Concrete Minerals. I'm going to be using a flat eyeshadow brush for this, and I'm going to be picking up the pigment that's already on the lid of the eyeshadow, if you can see it here. And I want to place this pigment on the inner half of the eye. Now with pigments, you really want to just push the pigment into the base that you laid down earlier. Don't kind of swipe it across because that will create a lot of fall down. And if you're not comfortable with using pigment and you're afraid that you create a lot of fall down using pigments, then you can skip your base and do your eyes first and come back to the base after you're done. So again, just really pushing that pigment into the inner corners of the eyes and building up quite a bit of drama with this. Before I blend anything out, I'm going to go back in with the same brush and pick up a different pigment. This is Kinky from Concrete Minerals. Here it is. And it's just a green-based pigment that looks like this. So picking it up with the same eyeshadow brush that I used to pick up the other pigment. Remember to tap off the excess. I'm going to place it on the outer corners of the eyes this time. Really slowly, just pushing that pigment in and packing on the color. I also want to bring this down onto the lower lash line, staying away from the middle area of the lower lash line. Okay, next I have the Ultra Pearl Mania pigment from NYX, and this is the color Lilac Pearl. And I'm just going to pick it up with my clean finger, and I'm going to tap it onto the middle of the lid, just the center of the lid, just to add a little bit of definition to the eye. And then I'm also going to pick some of it up with a little pencil brush. Just tapping off the excess, and I'm going to apply it to the center of the lower lash line, where we left out the darker eyeshadow earlier. And then just very lightly kind of blend everything into place. Now just to tie everything together, I'm going to run a contour color into the crease. I'm using the Sleek Cosmetics Contour Kit, and this is in the color Medium. I'm just picking it up with a fluffy blending brush. And I'm dabbing off the excess on the back of my hand. And just running that color right above all the eyeshadow pigments that we applied earlier. Be very, very careful not to disturb anything. And if you have small eyes like mine, then you have to be extra careful. Okay, I'm going to do the eyeliner now. Everything is pretty much really over the top with the eyes, so the eyeliner is going to be really dark and really intense as well. This is the Clinique True Black Cream Brush On Cream Liner, and I'm going to be picking it up with a Hakuhodo eyeliner brush. Now I'm just going to line the eyes and make it pretty thick and pretty intense. I'm going to do a bit of a wing on the outer corners. And of course, make sure that you get in between the lashes. So now that I have the liner on, I'm going to go and do my false eyelashes, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that the eyes are done, I'm going to move on to the skin. I'm going to start by using the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector, and this is in the color Opal. I'm just going to pump some off on the back of my hand, and I'm going to pick it up with a Real Techniques, what is this, setting brush. And I want to place it on the high points in my face, along my cheekbones. And I'm also going to take it underneath the eye in a sort of V shape like this. And this is just going to illuminate that area and bring it forward, which I want. Also brushing a little bit underneath the brow bone. Across the center of my forehead. Down the center of my nose. and onto my Cupid's bow. So now that that's done, I'm going to apply a little bit of concealer just to clean up under the eye area. I'm going to use the Giorgio Armani Precision Retouch Concealer. Just going in with a fluffy blending brush. Now I'm going to do a little bit of pinpoint concealing with my MAC Select Cover Up. This is in the color NC20. And I am just using a Real Techniques accent brush for this. So what I'm doing is just putting the concealer onto any spots that I need to conceal and then dabbing it in to blend. The foundation that I applied earlier gave me quite a good coverage already, so I don't need to do much with it. And now I'm going to do some contouring with the same sleek contour kit that I used in the crease earlier. And I'm going to use it with an NP Set Blush Contour Brush. Just dabbing the product onto the brush and then tapping the excess off on the back of my hand. And then running it underneath my cheekbone. I don't want to go too dark with the contour. All I want to do is just define the cheeks a little bit. Since the eyes are so over the top, I'm keeping everything else kind of minimal. Moving on to the blush, I want to use something nice and shimmery just to go with the whole look and keep with the dewiness of the skin. So I'm going to be using the Shimmerbrick Compact by Bobbi Brown, and this is in the color Wildrose. I am just going to pick it up with a Royal and Langnickel Silk Blush Brush. Tapping off the excess on the back of my hand and just running it along the apples of my cheeks directly above the contour. Now this is definitely more suited to a night out kind of look because the Shimmering Perfector from Becca plus the Bobbi Brown Shimmerbrick is going to be really shimmery on the skin. And finally, to finish everything off, I have the Collection 2000 Cream Puff Moisturizing Lip Cream, and this is in the color Powder Puff. This is my absolute favorite nude lip color at the moment because it is sheer enough, so a little bit if your natural lip color comes through, but it nudes out the lips just right. I also want to try something new here. These are the Glam Eyes Crystal Face Jewels from Manicare, and I want to apply just a couple, maybe on the outer corners below the eyes. So I'm just going to peel off one of the very tiny ones from the sticker sheet, I guess. I'm so afraid I'm going to drop one. Okay. I am just gonna pop it on the outer corner of my eye. Ooh. Just like that. And then I'm going to pick up one of the slightly larger crystals and pop it right next to the smaller one. Just there. And that is the finished look. I added crystals to both sides of the face, and that's it. If you have oily skin, then I recommend that you powder the skin first and then apply the Bobbi Brown Shimmerbrick. Otherwise, you're more or less set to go like this. And I hope you guys liked the look. If you did, please subscribe up above and like down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!